All right, guys, we are going to finish up looking at the distance formula. And tomorrow, which is Friday, your virtual day, everyone is going to have a nice quiz over everything we've been looking at, which is the coordinate plane, plotting the points, and then on the points, lines, and planes, you have that foldable for that. You'll be at home, guys. Use your foldable, use your notes. And then on the distance formula, use your notes for that because it's going to have the formulas on it. And remember, I showed you, some of you were just amazed that you could turn your calculator sideways and turn your phone sideways and you got the scientific calculator. And I remembered to bring mine home this night. So that's good. Now again, guys, remember this is your number line. So when you're doing the number line, it's real simple. This is the formula over here. But basically, all you have to do, I'm gonna write it here. It's always subtraction. Subtract the two numbers, make the answer positive. Now remember, there are no negative final answers with distance. You're going to be working with negative numbers, but there's not going to be any negative final answers. So if a negative shows up on the screen, you just drop the negative sign, okay? If a negative shows up on the screen, you just drop the negative sign. You may have some with the number line. You may have some without the number line. It's just going to depend. It doesn't matter which one you have. It's still going to be done the same way. So don't freak out if you don't have the number line. You're still going to subtract, make the answer positive. So like right here, it's A to C. Guys, between -8 and -6 is -7. C, between -2 and 0 is -1. So you're going to do -7 minus -1. Remember, two negatives make a positive. -7 plus 1, enter. It says -6, but I make it a +6. Okay? Then I'm going to do one more. You can also use some common sense. Like I'm going to come down here and do AE. Here is A, here is E. That's a long distance. That's a fur piece, as my grandfather would say. You shouldn't get a small number like 2 or 3 or something like that. A, I already wrote that down, is at -7 minus. E is at 10. Subtract the two numbers, make it positive. So instead of -17, it's going to be +17. I'm going to leave you those two to try. If you're not sure, guys, what you can do tomorrow, if you're at home, if you're an A day or a virtual, you can send me a picture of what you did. Say, hey, I worked 2 and 3. Are these the answers? Send me a message on Remind. Now, these 3 right here don't have the number line. Don't sit there and draw yourself a number line. That's craziness. This says point R is at 4, point S is at -6. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to subtract, make it positive. 4 minus -6. Two negatives make a positive. 4 plus 6 is 10. You're just subtracting and making it positive. I'm going to do number 7. Point M is at 11, N is at 5. Subtract. I don't have to make it positive because it already is. So here are your steps. Subtract, make it positive. Okay, if you want to take a quick screenshot of that, let me kind of move it down. You can work it out on paper if you want. Like I said, if you're not sure, or text a friend. Say, hey, I was doing number 2 and I got this answer. What'd you get? I was doing number 6. I got this answer. What'd you get? Now, Again, the ones that are giving students the most trouble, and it's not new, guys, because there are a lot of steps. The ones with the ordered pairs. Now remember what I said to do, and you can go down and do all these. Underline the X's, circle the Y's. Underline the X's, circle the Y's. You can do that for all of them. Here is the formula right here. One of the questions on your quiz was just, which one of these is the correct distance formula? Remember, the underlined numbers go here. The circled numbers go here. That means the second X minus the first X. The second Y minus the first Y. The second underlined number minus the first underlined number. Now guys, all of these are going to be decimals except one of the answers. Remember I said we get lots of decimals in geometry, and you always want to round to the nearest tenth. That's one number behind the decimal. Okay. Right here, the first thing I do is I write it down with everything filled in. The second underlined number minus the first, and you've got to put that negative sign. Close it, square it. It's always addition in the middle. The second circled number minus the first circled number. Close it, square it. Okay? Now remember, two negatives make a positive. Two negatives make a positive. The calculator is your friend. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 squared. 7 times 7 is 49. Now, yes, I know that one has a negative, so you can use your calculator. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. Now, remember, we're not worried about that sign right there. Negative 4 times negative 4. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm going to add those two. 49 plus 16 is 65. So I want to do the square root of 65. You want to do the square root of 65. Now remember on here you do second x squared 65. Now remember our little thing about 5 or more go up a floor. Look at that. That 6 is bigger than a 5. So you round that 0 up to 1. You don't want to just put 8, guys. You want to put 8.1. Okay? Now, on 9, I'm going to do the same thing. The second underlined number minus the first underlined number. Close it, square it. The second circled number minus the first circled number. Close it, square it. Here we go. 0 minus 3, guys, is not 0. It's negative 3, which is basically 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9. Don't worry about that negative. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Again, don't worry about that negative. Guys, 1 squared is not 2. That's the same as 1 times 1. 1 times 1 is 1. You get the square root of 10. Second x squared 10. Again, that 6 bumps that 1 up to a 2. Don't just leave it 3.1. Don't just put 3. That 6 bumps that 1 up to a 2. Okay? But if you would, guys, at least take a minute on your scratch paper, in your notes, try number 10. You want to make sure you can set it up. You want to make sure when you type it in, you get it correctly. Because on Friday, like I said, we're going to have a big quiz on the little software with the memes and everything. It's going to be worth, you know, a few more points. It's going to have the plotting points. It's going to have, you know, the points, lines, and planes. You're going to want to use your foldable, that purple foldable, that lavender foldable we did in class. Some of you filled it in. We've got other notes that we did. Videos all over my YouTube page. And then it's going to be on the distance formula. And I want everybody to make a good grade. Make sure if you didn't do that diagnostic test, guys, I went back and reopened it. So you can go back in and do that. If you haven't registered for Remind, that is an easy 25 points. And that ends tomorrow, Thursday at 4 p.m. You can sign up after that, but you're not going to get your 25 points. That's easy. That raised so many people's grades just for signing up for Remind. So please make sure you're taking care of your stuff, guys. Next week is the 4th week. The week after that, we get progress reports. Remember, on Monday, they're going to start checking for IDs. So also start digging around looking for your ID or go get a new one. Peace out.